My name is Walter. I'm 87 years old, and before I leave this world, there's something I need to say to men. Not because I'm wiser than anyone, not because I've figured everything out, but because I spent most of my life believing things that made me look strong on the outside, while quietly damaging the people I loved the most. And if one man hears this before it's too late, if one husband, one father, one son listens closely, maybe he won't carry the regrets I carry now. When I was a boy, men were taught one thing above everything else. Stay strong, handle your business, don't complain, don't cry, don't ask for help, and whatever you do, never let people see you break. That was my father. He woke up before sunrise every day, worked with his hands until dark, ate dinner in silence, paid the bills, fixed whatever needed fixing. And when life hit him hard, he clenched his jaw and kept moving. I admired him more than anyone. He looked unshakable, like nothing could touch him. And when you're a boy looking at a man like that, you think, that's what I need to become. Strong, reliable, tough, silent. So I became exactly that. I worked hard. I built a business, provided for my wife, put food on the table, kept the house running, never missed work, never let anyone see fear. And people respected me. Neighbors called me dependable. Friends said I was solid. My kids looked at me like I had answers. And for a long time, I thought I was doing everything right. But strength can become a prison. And I didn't understand that until much later. Because while everyone saw a dependable man, inside, I was carrying more than I knew how to handle. Stress, pressure, fear, disappointment, loneliness. And I never said any of it out loud. I told myself, this is what men do. Carry it. Keep going. Don't burden anyone. Don't show weakness. But silence doesn't disappear. It doesn't magically become strength. It settles into your chest. It changes your tone. It changes your eyes. It changes how you walk into a room. And the people closest to you feel it. Even when you never say a word. My wife felt it. For years. Her name was Eleanor. She was calm, warm, patient. The kind of woman who noticed everything. One night she sat across from me at the kitchen table. Kids were asleep. House was quiet. And she asked me something simple. She said, "Are you okay?" And I smiled. Said what men always say. "I'm fine." She looked at me for a second. Then she nodded and changed the subject. I didn't think much of it. But years later she told me something I never forgot. She said, "I stopped asking because you never really answered." That hit me harder than I expected, because I thought silence protected people. I thought staying quiet kept things under control. I thought if I handled everything myself, I was doing them a favor. But I wasn't protecting them. I was shutting them out. And men need to hear this. The people who love you don't need you to be made of stone. They need access to your heart. They need honesty. They need presence. They need the real you, not the version performing strength all the time. And I learned that lesson in a way I wish I hadn't. Because one afternoon when my son was 16, he came home angry. I could see it on his face. He slammed the door, dropped his backpack, walked into the kitchen, and stood there, waiting. I asked what happened. He told me another boy embarrassed him in front of everyone at school. He looked humiliated. And what did I do? I gave advice. I told him life was hard, told him people are cruel, told him to toughen up, told him not to let it bother him. He nodded, said okay, and walked away. Simple moment, or at least I thought so. But something changed after that. He stopped coming to me, still polite, still respectful, but different. More distance, more silence. Years passed, and one day when he was grown, he finally told me. He said, "Dad, I didn't need advice that day. I needed you to sit with me in it. I needed you to understand." That sentence stayed with me for years, because I realized I'd been trying so hard to raise a strong man that I forgot how badly a young man needs to feel seen. And maybe nobody tells men this enough. You can be strong and still be soft. You can lead and still listen. You can protect and still say, I understand. I'm here. I feel that too. That's not weakness. That's real strength. And I wish I learned it earlier. Then life did what life always does. It humbled me. I was 68 when Eleanor got sick. At first it seemed small. Fatigue, a little weakness, a doctor's appointment we thought would be routine. Then suddenly everything changed. Hospitals, tests, long waiting rooms, conversations neither of us wanted to have. And for the first time in my life, I couldn't fix anything. I couldn't work harder and make it go away. Couldn't solve it. Couldn't protect her from pain. All I could do was sit beside her, and that was unbearable for a man like me. Because men are taught to do, to act, to solve, to carry. But sometimes the people you love don't need solutions. Sometimes they just need you there. I learned that sitting next to Eleanor while machines beeped in the background. One evening she looked at me and smiled, a tired smile, soft, peaceful. And she said something I'll never forget. She said, "You don't have to be brave for me." I laughed a little, told her I was okay, same old habit, same old mask. And she gently reached for my hand, held it, looked directly at me, and whispered, "You've spent your whole life carrying everything alone. You don't have to do that anymore." I felt something crack inside me, a wall I'd spent decades building, and before I could stop myself, I cried. Real tears, not hidden, not turned away, just honest, raw, painful. And I remember feeling embarrassed for maybe half a second. Then something happened I never expected. I felt lighter, like I had been holding my breath for 50 years, and Eleanor squeezed my hand tighter. She smiled and said, "There you are." 3 simple words. But I knew exactly what she meant, because I had spent so much of my life showing everyone the strong version of me, that even I had forgotten what honest looked like. That night we talked for hours, really talked, about fear, about regret, about things we never said, about memories, about the kids, about how fast time had gone. And she told me something that changed me forever. She said, "I never needed you to carry everything. I just needed you with me." Men need to hear that. Your wife doesn't need perfection. Your kids don't need a superhero. Your friends don't need a man who never breaks. They need you. Your presence, your honesty, your attention, your warmth. Because eventually life strips away every title you built your identity on. Career, money, status, strength. All of it fades. And what remains is connection. The way you made people feel. Whether you showed up, whether you were present, whether they felt safe enough to tell you the truth. I lost Eleanor 2 years later, and there are things I still wish I'd said sooner. Things I delayed because I thought there would always be more time, more quiet evenings, more dinners, more chances. Men, hear me carefully. There is not always more time. The call can come fast. The diagnosis can come fast. Life can change before breakfast, and pride becomes meaningless in a hospital room. I remember standing in the kitchen alone after she passed, coffee cup in my hand, house silent, looking at the chair where she always sat, and I thought about every time she reached toward me emotionally, and I stayed guarded. Every chance to say more, every chance to soften, every chance to be fully there. And I would have traded anything to have 5 more minutes, just 5, to say, "Thank you. I'm sorry. I love you. You mattered more than anything." That's why I'm saying this now, because too many men wait. Too many men assume there's time later. Too many men hide behind work, hide behind routine, hide behind silence, thinking love is understood without words. Sometimes it is. But say it anyway. Call your son. Even if the relationship feels awkward, tell him you're proud of him. Tell him you love him. Say the thing. Hug your wife longer. Ask her how she really feels. And actually listen. Call your brother, even if years have passed. Apologize if you need to. Drop the pride. Because pride feels very small when you're standing beside loss. I know. I've stood there. And if you're a younger man hearing me, please understand this before life teaches it the hard way. Being respected matters, but being emotionally available matters more. Being admired matters, but being deeply present matters more. Providing matters, but love cannot survive on provision alone. People remember how you made them feel, whether you noticed them, whether they felt safe with you, whether you stayed, whether they could reach your heart. And when you get old, really old, that's what echoes back. Not achievements, not titles, not the money, the conversations, the hugs, the moments you stayed instead of walking away, the honest words you had courage to say. I'm 87 now. My hands shake more than they used to. I move slower. Some mornings my knees remind me exactly how many years I've been here. And at this age, you think differently. You stop worrying about things that once felt urgent. You stop caring what people think. You stop chasing approval. And you start seeing life for what it really is. A collection of moments. That's all. A conversation in a doorway. A long hug before someone leaves. A laugh at the dinner table. A quiet drive with your son. A hand in yours at the end of the day. That's life. And men miss too much of it trying to appear unshakable, trying to stay in control, trying to carry everything alone. I missed some of it. And I can admit that now. I remember a Saturday afternoon many years ago. My daughter was 8. She wanted me to watch her dance in the backyard. Just a silly little routine she had made up. I was reading paperwork, tired, distracted. I said, maybe later. She smiled, said okay, and ran outside. I barely thought about it. Years later, she brought it up. Not angrily, not trying to hurt me. She just smiled and said, "You were always busy when I was little." And she laughed. But I felt that sentence deep in my chest. Because she remembered. And I didn't. That's the dangerous thing. The people we love remember moments we barely notice. The conversation we rushed. The hug we delayed. The attention we withheld because we thought we had more time. Men, please hear me. The little things are not little. They become memories. They become trust. They become closeness or distance. A child asking for attention may not ask the same way next year. A wife reaching emotionally may stop reaching if she feels ignored long enough. A friend struggling may stay silent next time. A father gets older. A mother gets older. And one day, there's no next time. You don't need to become a different man overnight. That's not what I'm saying. You don't need perfect words. You don't need dramatic speeches. You don't need to suddenly become someone else. Just begin. Start small. Say, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm sorry. I've been carrying a lot. How are you really doing? And when they answer, listen. Don't rush to solve. Don't interrupt. Don't turn it into advice. Just stay there. Be with them. That kind of presence changes people. It changed me. Because the strongest men I've known in the last years of my life weren't the loudest. They weren't the toughest. They weren't the ones everyone admired from a distance. They were the men who could be present. The men who could admit pain. The men who could stay soft without losing their strength. The men who made people feel safe. That's real strength. And if nobody ever told you that, I'm telling you now. Because time moves faster than you think. One day your hair turns gray, then white. Then your grandchildren are grown. Then people you love start disappearing. And suddenly you understand how precious ordinary days really were. A normal Tuesday, a shared meal, a quiet evening, a simple phone call. Those become priceless. If I had one last piece of advice for every man watching this, it would be this. Don't wait to become emotionally honest. Don't wait until loss teaches you. Don't wait until the chair across from you is empty. Don't wait until your son is older and distant. Don't wait until regret becomes heavier than pride. Say the words now. Make the call now. Walk into the room now. Be fully there now. Life is not asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to be present. And I promise you, the people you love don't need a flawless man. They need your real heart. They need your warmth, your honesty, your attention, your presence while there's still time. I'm 87. I've buried friends, said goodbye too many times, learned lessons later than I wanted to. And if I could leave one message behind for men, it's this. Strength matters. Responsibility matters. Hard work matters. But love needs your presence more than your performance. And one day, that will be the only thing that truly matters. If this meant something to you, leave a comment. Tell me one thing you want to say to someone before it's too late. And if there's someone you love, call them today. Don't wait, because I promise you, time feels endless, until suddenly it doesn't.